The first Dead Sea Scrolls were found by a Bedouin shepherds in 1947 in one of the most significant archaeological discoveries of the 20th century. These scrolls are ancient Jewish and Hebrew religious manuscripts discovered in caves near the ancient Qumran settlement, in what was then Mandatory Palestine, on the northern shore of the Dead Sea. Dating from the 3rd century BCE to the 1st century CE, the Dead Sea Scrolls are considered to be a benchmark for archaeology with great historical and religious significance because they include the oldest surviving manuscripts of entire books. These were included in the biblical canons, along with the extra-biblical manuscripts which preserve evidence of the religious thought in late Second Temple Judaism. They also highlighted the emergence of Christianity and of Rabbinic Judaism. Most of the scrolls are held by Israel in the Shrine of the Book at the Israel Museum, but their ownership is disputed by Jordan and the State of Palestine due to the Qumran Caves history. Following the end of the British Mandate for Palestine in 1947, Jordan occupied the area in the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, and Israel captured both it and several scrolls claimed by Jordan in the 1967 Six-Day War. As a result, some of the scrolls are still in Jordan and are now displayed at the Jordan Museum in Amman. Many thousands of written fragments have been discovered in the Dead Sea area. They represent the remnants of larger manuscripts damaged by natural causes or humans, with the vast majority holding only small scraps of text. However, a small number of well-preserved, almost intact manuscripts have survived. Researchers have assembled a collection of 981 different manuscripts discovered in 1946-47 and in 1956 from 11 caves. A super important point is that due to their condition, not all the manuscripts and fragments have been identified. So, what mysteries lie unanswered? What subjects do they cover? The world will never know. So why were they put in these caves? Qumran itself was a Hellenistic period settlement, was constructed during the reign of Hasmonean leader John Hyrcanus, 134 to 104 BCE, or somewhat later. Qumran was inhabited by a Jewish community of the Second Temple period, which most scholars identify with the mystic sect of the Essenes. It was occupied most of the time until 68 CE and was destroyed by the Romans during the First Jewish-Roman War, possibly as late as 73 CE. It is believed that just before the Romans attacked, the Essenes decided they would protect as much as written history as they could by hiding it in the surrounding caves. Then in 2021 another massive archaeological find, new fragments were uncovered in the so-called Cave of Horrors, which lies in cliffs towering from the south over the wadi known as Nahol Hever. Nearby in the cliffs on the opposite side of the stream is the Cave of Letters, where many documents from the Bar Kokhba revolt. Cave of Horrors was the nickname given to the cave, where in 1951, archaeologists found the skeletons of 40 men, women, and children killed during the revolt. This was a rebellion by the Jews of the Roman province of Judea, led by Simon Bar Kokhba, against the Roman Empire. Fought roughly between 132 and 136 CE, it was the last of three major Jewish-Roman wars. In terms of the violence and destruction, this rebellion was significant, as it is believed that up to 580,000 people were killed in the raids and battles, and that the Roman troops were particularly heavy-handed with how they partook in wanton destruction. The revolt greatly influenced the course of Jewish history and the philosophy of the Jewish religion. Despite easing the persecution of Jews following Hadrian's death, the Romans barred Jews from Jerusalem. Rabbinical political thought became deeply cautious and conservative. The Talmud, for instance, refers to Bar Kokhba as Ben Kusiba, a derogatory term meaning son of deception, used to indicate that he was a false messiah. It was also among the key events to differentiate Christianity as a religion distinct from Judaism. Although Jewish Christians regarded Jesus as the Messiah and did not support Bar Kokhba, they were barred from Jerusalem along with the other Jews. Evidence of Roman encampments on the cliff above the cave suggests that the rebels remained under siege until they died of starvation. The only way to access the cave is by rope, lowering yourself down some 200 feet. The desert team showed exceptional courage, dedication, and devotion to purpose, rappelling down to caves located between heaven and earth, said Israel Hassan, the director of the Israel Antiquities Authority. The archaeologists then went digging and sifting through the caves and thick, suffocating dust, and returning with gifts of immeasurable worth for mankind. There have been extensive excavations in the Qumran cave since 2017, carried out by the Israel Antiquities Authority to prevent looters from getting their hands on historic artifacts in the desert's remote caves. For the first time in 70 years, we were able to preempt the plunderers, Amir Ganna, head of the Antiquities Theft Prevention Unit, told the AP. The new Dead Sea Scroll is among several recent archaeological finds, including a partially mummified 6,000-year-old skeleton of a child, Jewish coins from the time of the Bar Kokhba rebellion, ancient arrowheads, and a 10,500-year-old basket, with its lid which is still intact thanks to the desert's hot, arid environment. The Israel Antiquities Authority, which carried out the excavations, believes the new scroll, written in Greek, is actually a missing part of the Book of the 12 Minor Prophets scroll, first discovered in 1961. It contains verses from Zechariah 8 verses 16 to 17 and Nahum 1 verses 5 to 6. The minor differences in the wording compared to other known manuscripts are important in helping shape our understanding of the evolution of the standardized Hebrew Bible. The child's skeleton and the cloth wrapping were remarkably well preserved because of the climatic conditions in the cave. A process of natural mummification had taken place. The skin, tendons, and even the hair were partially preserved, despite the passage of time, and a subsequent CT scan revealed that she had between the ages of 6 and 12 and is thought to have been a girl. A small cache of Bar Kokhba era coins bearing images of a palm tree and vine leaf. The coins, which bore the words "Year 1 for the redemption of Israel," would have proved useless at the end, but the scrolls may well have served as a source of comfort and consolation to those awaiting their death. Teenagers from the Nofei Prat Pre-Military Academy were responsible for the basket discovery, which the Israel Antiquities Authority believes may be the oldest known basket in the world. Made from woven reeds, it is from the Neolithic period, predating the development of pottery in the region. Whilst this is just an additional discovery related to the Dead Sea Scrolls, anything relating to this must be considered significant as it increases our already vast knowledge of that part of history and our understanding of religious doctrine and the Bible. Additional excavations have been planned in this area, so we are expecting more to come, and no doubt all of it will be exceptionally important to us all.